My dad always said that the only creative events to have ever happened in the history of the world were interruptions, unexpected, unplanned. He's an artist, and he's gone about his life with this idea in his mind. And I guess we never realized that his mantra was going to come back for us. His knees buckled when he got that phone call. 300 miles away from us, in the sweltering Maryland summer heat. Water was pouring out the front door of our home. His studio was in the basement. A burst pipe destroyed my childhood home when I was 10. Everything was gone. Photos, works on paper slides, priceless art, pictures of my family growing up, everything. Evidence we existed. Gone. 50 years of my dad's life melted away in what to him must have felt like a matter of seconds. Now, most artists would have cracked. And he did to some extent, but he bounced back. You see, one thing about my dad is that he always bounces back. He blew up the photographs huge. He pulled out colors and faces with his paint, dates and timestamps. Images of my family slowly crept onto his paintings like we were always meant to be there in the first place. I heard a quote once that art gives pain something to do. Dad looked at the pain in his life and made it into something beautiful before it destroyed him. And though our house has been restored, it will never quite look the same as it once did. We do now, however, have the coolest family photo album in history. Big paintings dedicated to who we once were, who we've grown from. He took what destroyed him and made it huge for the world to see, as if to call out, "You can't get me that easy." He made it into something real. My big brother, as a 5-year-old playing a Game Boy in a haze of color, sits on our wall in the once-destroyed Maryland living room. I never knew how important that painting would be to me when my dad first hung it there. When I was 16, my brother called me while he was away at college for the first time. He told me that I could always count on him, I could always call, and then he left me. I hung up the phone and smiled that night. That year, I spent my Thanksgiving in a mental hospital. My brother came home and had a breakdown. I remember my mom's eyes looking especially blue that night. Her knees buckled when the nurse told her that it wasn't a brain tumor that was plaguing her baby. It was something much worse. We all lost a part of ourselves that night. None of us could find beauty in this interruption. But we leaned on one another. And we got through the worst parts together. And though my brother may never be the same, I can still look at that painting and smile, knowing that he's there as he once was. And even though he's sick, and he may always be, I can still count on him to be there to pick up the phone when I call. You see, life is full of interruption. That is one thing I have definitely learned from my family. But I've also learned how to bounce back.